괜찮아? Okay. Alright, go on my Facebook. Hello everyone, welcome to the show. I'm with my friend here before we get to the... Ooh, is that Chad? Chad, you had to just show up. Hi Cheryl. What is the boyfriend you have? He's the first person on here. Oh, see,
always there for me.
When he does cute things like that, it's hard not to like him. I like you just for today, Chad. Just for today. Hi, Cheryl. Oh no, it's not me. Then who's it? Is it your avatar? Taiwo. Hi, Taiwo. Anyways, so this is from the Sibyl podcast. It's a podcast about culture and cultural moments. One day is good enough for me. You bet that, Chad. You bet that. And I do this where I bring people on board and we talk about cultural stuff. Yeah, Rachel, there's something new.
Wow.
한국어 잘해요. Okay, so hi Rachel, hi Miss Rachel. She teaches me Korean as well. So anyway, so we're gonna be talking about Sylvia's story, and before I just get into who she is, we're gonna kick off with a song that we've been practicing. And oh my gosh, like we wanna just sing that song, and I'm gonna share the link to that song on the comment box. So if you guys wanna click it, you can look for the lyrics. And oh hi Taiwo, and that's the song right there. I just posted it in the comment feed, and I am also gonna post the lyrics so that way you can see it. And for those that are gonna listen to this afterwards, I'll put that in the show notes so you can see it as well. So the song is Himbogo Jodan Saram, someone who gives happiness. 다른 야마 있어요? 역사 translation?
Oh, I think the best version is someone give me that.
Someone who gives happiness, and it's a common song to sing at weddings, right?
Yeah.
All right. So 시작해도 돼요?
네.
Is it good to start?
네.
All right. So we're gonna be singing. Don't judge our voices. What's up, Linda? Do not judge our voices. It's still morning and I haven't had my coffee yet. All right. 안녕하세요, 리샤 씨. She just like in Korean. 내가 가는 길에 험하고 멀지라도 그대 함께 간다면 좋겠네. 우리 가는 길에 아침에 햇살 비추면 행복하다고 말해주겠네. 이리저리 돌아봐도 제일 좋은 건 그대와 함께 있는 것. 그대 내게 행복을 주는 사람. 내가 가는 길이 험하고 멀지라도 그대 내게 행복을 주는 사람. Oh, thanks, Angela. We look beautiful today. 지루하고 외로운 길이라도 그대 함께 한다면 좋겠네. 때론 즐거운 내 웃음 짓는 나날이어서 행복하다고 말해주겠네. 이리저리 돌고봐도 제일 좋은 건 그대와 함께 있는 것. 그대 내게 행복을 주는 사람. 내가 가는 길 험하고 멀지라도 그대 내게 행복을 주는 사람. 내게 행복을 주는 사람. 가는 길이 험하고 it's a very old song. It was released in 1983. It predates both of us, but the song is really nice, and I like the message. So, anyways, that said, I like to do a proper formal introduction of my wonderful. Whoa, I know. Okay. All right. So I like to do a proper introduction of my friend. She is from Busan, Korea. Some of you might know that Korea, or some of them that might not know, Korea is a very small country, small island. South Korea, that is. North Korea is actually larger than South Korea. She's from South Korea. Thank you, Angeli. Yes, we sounded beautiful. Thanks. See, we sing better in the mornings. Don't ask us to sing at night. She was born and raised in Busan, which is it south of Seoul?
Southwest area.
Yeah, and it's very like a little pocket. They're very known for so many things, which she's gonna talk about. She's currently doing her master's here in Oklahoma in early childhood education at the University of Central Oklahoma. As a child, she lost her father and mother, and her mother had to take care of her and her youngest brother, and then her aging grandmother. Fortunately, her mom was an elementary school teacher, which is a very profitable and respectable job in Korea. So she didn't have any inconveniences living. However, because of the societal structure of Korea, losing her father and having no father at home created for some roughness. And because single parent households are not very common in Korea. And so she experienced a lot of some stigma, can I say? Mm-hmm. And she lost her dad when she was 7. So we're just going to talk about that as well. And while she was in school, there was a time before she decided to go back to school, because she didn't think about her future. Nobody ever asked her what her purpose was, what her goals were in life. So she really didn't know what next to do. And but one day she decided to change all of that. She pushed herself a little harder, started attending school 6 a.m. every morning just to learn English. And she thought to herself, if I can speak English very well, I can at least do something with my life. And from that opportunity, she's ballooned out. She's a teacher in Korea. Well, she was a teacher in Korea, elementary school teacher, which is a very, very prestigious position. And started to she met her boyfriend there in Chad, and Chad told her about opportunities.
Kindergarten.
Oh, sorry, kindergarten. Which one? I always mix those things. So kindergarten teacher, and Chad told her about opportunities here in the U.S. So she applied, and she's currently doing her master's, and she hopes to move on to her doctorate. So everyone, join me welcoming my friend. Her Korean name is Mojong, and she's also known as Sylvia to the show. Inside.
Hello, everyone. Nice to meet you all.
All right. So, and if you have any questions for Sylvia about Korea, just feel free to jump in. I'm reading your comments. Oh, thank you. I said the la 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 la. Laughing. Thank you so much, Tamwa. So let's just get started. Tell us a little bit more about your childhood, especially before your dad died, and then after your dad died. What were some of the differences that you could notice, even though you were 7?
As young children, I cannot notice about the true meaning of death. Because even the meaning of the word is like, okay, somebody come. However, still children developing their mind and brain differently. So probably they can terminologically, they can understand somebody's death. But however, in their heart, they cannot actually understand what's going on. So I couldn't notice at all until 5th grade.
Wow.
Yeah. I know he's gone, but it's different feeling.
Marcella was still 5th grade.
5th grade, like 11.
She was 11. So 4 years after was when it dawned on you. Wow. Was there any grief counseling or family counseling?
Going to psychology counseling is really uncommon in South Korea. So there's still kind of prejudice seeing those kind of doctors. People think about you have a severely mental issue. That's why you see a psychologist.
So there's another stigma with that.
Yeah, so people don't talk about it.
Wow. Now let's talk about your mom. Wow, what an amazing mom. So your dad, passes on. She loses her husband after just like 8 years of marriage.
Yeah.
And she just throws herself into work, provides for you, not just you, your brother and your grandmother. What do you think that was like for her to fill in those shoes?
In my case, I couldn't even imagine if my boyfriend passed away like that way.
Which one of them? Chad? Let's not talk about it. Hello, Chad. But go ahead.
You know, but there's always proposed to live on her lives because at the time she need to raise me and my younger brother, so I think she could focus on that. That's the only thing God gave me, so I need to take care of that.
Okay. And your mom, how old was she when she lost her husband?
She's a 38 or yeah.
Wow. Just to think, like, because we are almost the same. Well, we're the same age. That's just incomprehensible. Yeah. And for your brother, I'll read him. Don't be hating. Show the love, chat. Don't worry, I'll read it for you. So for your brother, I mean, not having a dad and all that. Do you know what it's been like for him as well? Like, or do you even think that your mom? How was your mom able to just fill in that gap in you? Because I know she didn't remarry.
Yeah.
What's your brother's perspective been? Have you been able to talk to him? What that has been like not having a father around in the house?
Not a lot. Truthfully, for him, it will be not easy to talk about those kind of things.
Yeah, you guys still don't talk about it?
Yeah. But it's been a long time ago. It's over 20 years ago. So it's one of the God's blessing because we could smoothly can get over it.
Same.
But yeah, there's still a huge gap. My brother needed a father figure, but he didn't have that one. So nobody couldn't even imagine because I'm the woman, my mom woman, my grandma's woman.
Yeah. And you're the first, right?
Yeah. Nobody couldn't even imagine.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you shared some of the stories of some of the stigmas you experienced by not having one. And I know, well, I've not been to Korea, but from what I can glean from knowing a bit about the culture, I know that regardless of what even happens to your family structure, if there's no mom or there's no father, especially the father, it's like, sometimes you might not, if a child is born without a father, they can't even register them right away, right? You have to prove that there's a father. And sometimes you might not even let them to register to serve in the army because you can't trace your lineage. Yeah. And so I was just curious to know, can you share some of the stark examples of stigma that you faced, like especially growing up, when you realized that, okay, there's something different about our household, we don't have a dad around?
It's more like when somebody keep asking me, okay, what's your dad doing? Where's your dad? Well, why always go out with your mom? Then you can realize something. Then something's going on. Yeah, at that time it was really rare, but even though it's getting common, it's not a good thing because divorcing rates and single parents rate is getting increased in South Korea. But at the time in my school, it's really 2 or just 3 households has those kind of environment.
Wow.
Yeah, over almost hundreds of students.
Wow.
Yeah. So then, just in children's perspectives, they could ask naturally, like, "I couldn't see your dad at all. How are you doing?"
Innocently, right?
Yeah. Is it in Korea or is it in other country?
But how about the older ones, like the teachers?
Teacher wanting to ask me about my household situation, but I couldn't understand perfectly what happened at the time as a student. So they always asking me to talk with me the first day of the school. However, I don't know what happened.
So they'll just take you to the counseling room, like aside from one-on-one every time.
Yeah, every year. And then in other students' perspective, she's probably doesn't have a problem. That's why teacher called her every single first day.
That also maybe made you even feel like, there's something wrong with me.
So it felt like everybody watching you.
But when they put you aside, do you feel the conversation, does it help you, or do you still feel like they make you feel like there's something missing?
Definitely feel like something missing. Kind of that's why it can be really stressful because everybody keep asking me like what happened to your family. I don't know physically and memorically. I didn't have that memory details, so I couldn't give the information then. But they keep asking. They keep asking me like, okay, can you tell me please? Can you tell me please?
Yeah.
But those kind of answer you cannot squeeze from the child.
You cannot. Well, I'm glad that you're here, and I also want to just say I'm very impressed with your mom, especially. I mean, taking all of that responsibilities, that has been, good. She's saying hi in Korean. That's my dad. Hello, Dad. And then Medina, she's my friend. 우리 같은 대학교 다녔어요. 한국 문화 관심이 너무 있어요. And she's also learning how to speak Korean. So she's saying 안녕하세요. She wrote it down. Hi, Medina. 안녕하세요. All right. So education. Now moving into education. I know from your bio you had said that there was a time when nobody just asked you what your goals were, what your purpose were. So you were drifting for a while.
Yeah.
And then but then something happened one day and you decided that I'm going to push myself. So I want to ask, what was that turning point for you, that watershed moment that made you realize that, okay, I'm just going to give this one more try and see what the future holds?
Yeah. So after graduate high school, I barely got into university. And I couldn't understand the lecture at all. So my bachelor's is in English literature and Japanese literature. And in the English lecture class, I couldn't understand at all. So at the time, I really worried about my future. What could I do after I graduate university? I tried to start my job, going on and on. Then find someone and getting married. I need to, develop myself. Then how can I even make money for myself? Then I worried about it. Okay, I should do something for me.
Okay.
Yeah.
So that kind of pushed you a little bit.
Yeah.
And then you said you woke up 6 a.m. every morning.
Yeah. 1 year.
No, very difficult, right? So, and I know in Korea, if you've watched a lot of Korean dramas, education is a big deal.
Yeah, really big deal.
Oh my gosh, it's like a competition.
Yeah.
Okay, first, here's my analysis of the situation and tell me if I'm wrong. I think maybe because you don't have a lot of universities in Korea, it's a small country, right? You don't have a lot of universities in Korea as far as where options where people can go. And so everyone is ranked by, you can be living in Busan and your competitor can be somebody in Seoul. So there's like a national ranking system. And only the best of the best get to go to, one of the sky universities, Seoul, University, Korea,
yeah.
And then, Yonsei. And then even within the school from a very tender age, the way you guys even do your education is like, and I know you explained that to me yesterday. So if half of people in the class got like 98, you're still gonna be ranked in a way.
Yeah.
You could still be like number 30 out of. Can you just explain for those? I guess my question really is, why is education is good. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm a proponent of education. It's very important. But why do you think education in Korea is like on speed and it's doing like cocaine and heroin at the same time? Why is it so ultra, competitive?
Yeah. First one, even South Korea is a really small country. We have so many universities. There's a problem. So one by one is shutting down right now because also the birth rate is keep decreasing. So university actually don't have students anymore.
Ajuma.
Other thing is, in my opinion, from the historical opinion, Korean people really obsessinating on getting new knowledge. We've always think that getting new knowledge is excel your life more better place. That's why the parents, especially been through those kind of like a hard period.
Yeah, Korean War and all that. And I think you guys are also competing with North Korea too. Yeah. That's also another factor we forgot to mention.
Then they could think that if I could provide a more better education opportunity for my family, for my children, they could better life better than I have right now. So that's why they keep obsessing on those kind of like high rank university, which means they can get a very good job, lawyer or doctor
or nothing else. And I think another cultural observation I've made is there's a class system in Korea. Let's be very true. You have the 1% chaber, the rich people, and those ones have it through intergenerational wealth. So like the Samsung, corporation, their heirs, they already have all the money they want. But you can buy your social class. If you go to good schools, you can be friends, or your kids can be friends with children that they're rich. So a lot of parents use education in a way to buy themselves towards that upward mobility. And I mean, I have heard some cutthroat thing through the hack ones, parents just inserting themselves micromanaging everything, making sure that all the tests that kids ace it, and you guys spend like all day long studying. But that's so much stress on the kids, though. Yeah. Was it like that for you as well?
No, I went to the so there's a kind of normal high school and a different high school. So normal high school is like when they're middle school students, when they achieve a certain grade, it's almost also percent, cut out as a percent too. So like I should get into 60%, but I got 63. So I couldn't get into the normal high school, academic high school. So I went to like different high school where the teachers like accounting, like computer coding, those kind of things. So I went there, and fortunately that school didn't have any late night study at all. So I went.
Shocking.
Yeah, I went out from school like 4:30, and after I graduated high school, a few years later, my grandmother passed away. So to me, it was really thankful moment to God because those years I could spend some really personal time with my grandma.
Okay. Yeah. So is she still alive?
No.
She's still
almost 10 years.
Wow. And Medina just added that she was going to say that it goes back to your history that Koreans like to read.
Yeah.
But if you think about King Sejong, the one that started, the Hangul, which is the Korean alphabet, he had a lot of backlash from the Yangban. They didn't want the elites didn't want the commoners to read. And the way the Korean alphabet was created by King Sejong, he said something that a wise person should be able to figure it out by the end of the day, and a foolish person should be able to figure it out by the next day. Yeah. So he made it so simple enough that you could read it. But the elites, because they could read Chinese, they could write Chinese, but the commoners could only speak it, they couldn't read it. Yeah. And he wanted to create a language, the king himself, he wanted to create a language that was, sound enough and, easy enough. And so, I mean, you guys need to watch A Tree with Deep Roots. Hansukyu.
Yeah, Hansukyu.
Yeah, Hansukyu. Pastor? That's a very interesting drama. If you want to understand the historical context behind the Korean language, it's a very scientific language, and I'm gushing right now like a nerd because I love the language so much. So we're gonna just segue a little bit into languages. Another interesting fact about my friend here is she speaks 3 languages. She speaks Japanese, Korean, of course, and of course English. And even though they say if you speak Korean, for you to be able to speak Japanese, katakana, kanji, oh, wow. So she knows Japanese has like 3 major learning systems. Forget the third one. Yeah. So she speaks Japanese. So I wanted to ask her about languages from a personal perspective, given you speak 3 languages, and also as an educator. First of all, Ilbono, Otokebeoso, how did you learn Japanese?
I honestly, with you guys, I watch a lot of TV show and drama. Yes. Keep listening. I started just keep listening. Just keep listening.
So she started with Japanese dramas.
Yeah.
And that helped with your listening skills. This is very important, guys, because I think that when it comes to language learning, we've kind of gotten the approach not quite well. And I definitely agree with her because I'm currently reading a book called Ultra Learning. And what this guy does, he speaks several languages. He goes to the country for a whole year. I mean, he has the means to do it. For a whole year, he doesn't speak English, and he forces himself to interact with the natives. And he doesn't like pick up a textbook. He goes there and he listens and he tries to speak. Yeah. So listening is very key. So if you're learning to speak a particular language, I suggest, like I did, I do Korean dramas and Korean TV shows a lot because I learned how to improve my vocabulary and how to learn how structures, sentences flow. That's one. What other tips do you have for language learning?
So first, need a purpose. And there's also joy and happiness of learning that. That's why I think watching TV show and drama is a good idea because there's always joy and happiness watching TV shows, and it will give you purpose. You want to watch next episode. So while you keep exploring yourself in a new environment, your eyes gonna be wide open. Then you can mimic those kind of words you listen, and then you start speaking.
You sound like an educator right now. Are we in the classroom? So I think what she's trying to say is that find something that interests you.
Yeah.
If you like music, you can use music to learn. You can use I like TV shows because I'm very visual. I like music too, but there's only so much you can learn from music because it's just 3-5 minutes long. But like she said, if you're watching a series, it's a continuation. So apart from entertainment, you're also using that to like a mnemonic to like fix some of the things you're learning. What are other mistakes we make when we learn new languages, Sylvia?
Many people try to read and write something, but it is not a good idea. Your brain not get used to use other language at all, then how can you produce another totally different language? So other tip I want to give people about the learning other language, when they watch something, sometimes they ask me like, how can I start watching TV show? Should I need a subtitle? Should I need a subtitle? In my opinion, subtitle is needed.
Yeah.
Because at least you could understand like what kind of environment, what kind of story baseline in it.
Yeah.
And you need to watch same episodes over and over and over again.
I agree.
Yeah, in my case, I watched when I keep learning English and Japanese, I watched the same TV series over 10 times.
Whoa.
And also other tip I did it is after you watch 6 or 7 times, to use like, yeah, I know what's going on at there.
You can understand. You know the context, so you just focus on the translations.
Yeah. And then while you're working on something else, just play on it, like somebody talking to you. So just keep playing on the air, then your other side of the brain just naturally grabs like, oh, I think I heard it before. Keep put in your brain.
I agree. So what I do, the first time I started learning Korean, and I started watching Korean dramas, and let me confess, it was very frustrating for me. Because sometimes when I watch TV, I use it as a background noise when I'm working. But with Korean TV shows or dramas, it required my utmost attention. So I had to like leave everything and dedicate time to just watch it and turn into an educational session for me. But as time went on, I started challenging myself. Because there's always like a split second between when they say the words in Korean and the translations come up.
Yeah.
So I tried to imagine what did that sentence say before I say it. Yeah. So I'm like testing myself along the way. And not to brag about myself, but let me just go ahead and brag. I can say I get like 70 to 80% of the sentences now. Now I might miss a word here and there in the sentences, but listening, and I just it's helped me a lot to improve. Yeah. And so I learn new words, and I try to type the words that I've heard. I try to put the sentences together. Now, some dramas are better than others, some TV shows are better than others. But in those settings, sometimes you can hear how Korean can be spoken in, formal setting or colloquial settings. Mm-hmm. And I'm using Korean as an example, but it could be Spanish for you, it could be French for me, but good luck finding interesting French dramas. Without Lee Min-ho and, Han So-kyo and Jisung Oppa. Anyways, so thank you for that. Any other languages you're interested in learning? Mm-hmm. Do you have any other languages that you might probably want to learn?
Thinking about next option is Spanish. I want to keep focusing on my life educating people in here United States. So my next goal is finding out how many other people from other country in here America. Depends on the district, how many students this school district, there's so many Spanish children. Then I'm gonna learn Spanish. So then I could communicate with the family and I understand their culture background. I see. It's really meaningful.
I see. Yeah. If you guys have questions, please ask away. I'm looking at the comment section. I think you guys are just admiring our beautiful faces. But please ask questions. So I want to talk to you about something else. I know you moved here in your 30s. Mm-hmm. I moved to the US in my 20s. And it was very, very difficult for me. And I speak English, but I don't speak Americanese. And I hadn't been here before. It was my first time. No, sorry. It was very, very scary for me. I can't even imagine now in my 30s starting all over again. And in a language that, I know you speak English, but it's different when you're here. Yeah. There's a cultural context which you don't know about until you move here. And then you find yourself in a place like Oklahoma. Yeah. It's like a village here. So how was it like for you? Like, what made you think that, okay, I'm in my 30s now. I'm gonna move, abroad, and not even just move abroad. I'm gonna study abroad. Where? Why?
So I wanted to keep developing myself as educator, so I could thought about how can I impact on children and on the world. Then I thought about South Korea is too small. Then let's find some place that I could meet many multicultural people, many different people.
Small fish in a big pool, or big fish in a bigger pool.
Then I thought about America because everybody want to join an American society and they want to experience, they want to learn. Then I thought about, I could meet many international students, then I could speak with them, then I could understand their education background.
Wow.
Yeah.
So you had that dream and you just focused on it. But I still can imagine that it wasn't very easy for you. So what were some of the hardest things you had to adjust to when you came to Korea? Sorry, to the US.
So first one, preparing all those tests and papers is not easy at all. So even though I taught English to children, however, I'm not interested at all science. I hate science. I love science, but I don't want to learn. I love my friend. She's really good at science, so she could help me with that.
You just broke my heart right there.
But it doesn't mean that I have to take the test with those kind of knowledge by myself.
I forgive you.
So when I prepared TOEFL test, like first pre-op test, I got 40 out of 120.
20. Whoa!
I devastating checked. He knew very detailedly about this story. I cried all night. I thought about I'm not gonna go there. It's too hard. How can I achieve that?
Wow.
Then 1 year I persistently, keep doing like studying and studying and studying. Then finally I could got 94 out of 120.
Wow.
Yeah, it took me an year. It's really hard. And also besides that, finishing the TOEFL is not the end. You need to go to the visa interview and you need to go to all the I-20, F1 is very long-term process.
Tell me about it.
So
you guys are even Koreans. In Nigeria now it's even harder to even get some, student visas. But so you came here. When you moved here, what was it like for you?
Kind of a little bit scary too, because in my 30 years life, I never been outside Korea before. And I'm very scary easily. So I got here from Incheon airport to the Dallas and to the Oklahoma. So I heard a lot of things, transition in the American airline, like kind of, they're gonna ask like really detailed question. If you got rejected, you should go back to South Korea. Those kind of untrue things. But in
so
South
you guys
Korea,
talk about that even in Nigeria, so we have
Korea,
those ones.
people don't know about that is true or not. So I collect all this detailed information by myself. How should I get off? Where I should follow? Because I'm all about myself.
I see.
Nobody can help me. I do by myself.
Yeah, and I noticed that a lot in Koreans. Yeah, you guys are very individualistic.
Yeah,
and it's hard for you to be out there. And I'll follow up with a question. But I had a question for you, and I'll say it in Korean and you can just say it in English. Because now this is practice time. 다른 질문이었어요. 여기 오기 전에 이 장소에 대해 어떻게 생각하니?
Before I got here, how do I thought about this place? What do you mean this place, like Oklahoma or whole? It's scary. I found this scary because all about news outside of America, they keep talking about there's a gunfire, people are, there's so many drugs and those kind of things. But when I got here, I realized that those kind of things is really kind of small accident out of thousands humans' life. But news media want to get attention, so they exaggerate on those kind of small things, and it actually make other people more scary to get here. Yeah.
Wow. So I think you shared something with me yesterday, like with guns, for example. So you thought we're all gonna be having guns and we're shooting pew 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 pew. Have you seen a gun? No. You haven't seen a gun before, right? And this is Oklahoma. It's gun country.
So in the case, my people said no gun will be like low crime or something. But look at South Korea. We cannot use gun, but there's already always crime gonna happen.
That's true. Because it's
a human mindset.
It's a human mindset. Yeah.
So that's why education is important.
I agree. Thank you for that. So Linda has a question.
Yes.
And Linda asks, what advice would you give to those who are almost giving up on their dreams because it is too hard or because of too much opposition?
Last night I shared with Mo, also same thing. So I got here over 30, it was really scary. Then I thought about myself, how many years do I left? Mine, I can live 70 years more, or maybe I could live over 100. So thinking about it 50 or 60 years later, and if you feel like you're gonna regret on that moment, if you're giving up, then you should go on. Because you can never find out before you actually trying it.
I like that. You never know until you try.
You never know.
So just, I think another thing you can say is that, remember how you had a goal?
Yeah.
Like you wanted to, it was for the children. And so you just focused on that. And even though you were having all things on the side that was making it scary for you, you had that goal. So perhaps to add to what you shared before is, what are your dreams? Like those dreams that you have, write them down, list them out, and focus on them. Why do you want to do them? I'm sure it should be not just for a selfish reason, like for me. If there's an external pull from it, like you want to change the world, you want to improve the lives of children, those are good goals to have. So focus on your goals and just go ahead and try them.
And also when there's opposition and trouble, you think like, I'm never gonna get through it, write down them and praying on them.
That's true. That's a very good one.
Yeah, when is that's your calling, God gonna open the door for you.
I like that. Place of prayer.
Yeah, I never thought I'm gonna come to America before, but I'm here. I'm remote. I could meet so many people in here.
Thank you for that. My friend is so wise and beautiful. Tiedu is my Sombe, my senior friend. He had a question. He said, don't worry, I'll read it for you. Okay. Did you do like a cultural background check about the specific state or city you were moving to? If you did, do you think it is important or necessary to do that?
What does it mean, cultural background?
Like Yogi and Moha Jogi, like did you check it beforehand? Like the culture of, like if you're moving to a new place, do you
how people doing it there?
Do you think it's necessary to do it before you move it? Before you move, instead have you done it?
Yeah, I think it's quite important. So to me, it's kind of religious stuff. Like what kind of lifestyle do they have? What kind of value people put on those lives is really important. Because human relationship all about our life. So if those kind of things cannot go along well with my belief, then I'm not gonna I'm not gonna go to that country.
That's so wise.
Yeah.
The value of life.
Yeah.
Like what value did they put in on life? Wow.
Because when you like in surrounding like other not good value of the environment, it can affect you. And it can change you. It can direct you in a wrong way.
That's so wise.
That's why, thank you. That's why environment is important.
What can do money about Right. Linda has another question. And Linda, keep on coming. She said, how have you dealt with being in your 30s and starting over? Because sometimes people look at you and wonder, what are you doing with your life and what have you accomplished? Because in 30s, because there's this saying that 20s is when you have all these ideas that you want your life to be. 30s is when you start doing those things. But what if during your 30s is when you start having more ideas and people look at you like, you haven't figured it out yet? How do how were you able to deal with that? Because you started over again. Yeah. Even though it can be seen also as an extension of your life in Korea, but you started a new chapter.
Yeah. Like age concept is really strong, like in the base in South Korea. So in 20s you need to go to university. In 25 you need to get a job. In 30, before 30 you get to marry, and you need to get a first child, and then.
Are you sure it's talking about Nigeria or Korea?
Korean.
Yes.
And then when you have your first kids, then people are gonna ask, when is the second kid?
And if it's not a boy, you have to keep trying until you get a boy, because the girls,
Yeah, even to me, like all my family really loved me, so they didn't ask me those kind of way, but I felt that their curiosity and also their worry, because they don't know what's going on in my inside. So I respect their carrying me, but I keep thought about myself while praying, who defined who I am? Other people don't define who you are, or God don't define who you are.
Sylvia, I don't need to go to church tomorrow. I feel like we just, I've been church today. This is just Saturday. I didn't sign up for Saturday church. I'm never wearing my Sunday dress. Sorry. It's okay. It's okay. Continue.
So he also limit your limitation. So I always thought about when I got 40 out of 120, like first piece of my TOEFL study. I thought about, I think this is my limitation. Wow. But how can I know? We are image of God. He know our limitation. So in my ring, here's my favorite Bible verse, is that I can do everything through Him. Yeah, who give me strength.
Philippians 4:13.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
So I always keep in mind.
Philippians 4:19.
Let's see. Philippians
4:19.
4:19. 13.
13. I was right the first time. See, so I need to go to church again. No, not again. I still go to church, I promise. Sorry.
So keep thinking positively. And don't need to care of what other people who really love you, how they word about you is really important. But that's not all. That's not all thing. God defines who you are. God knows your limitation. When Papa says no, then it means no. When Papa says go on, then you should go on. That's why I keep going on, crying and kind of mad and yelling myself over a year.
But you're still gonna keep doing it. Wow. If you guys have more questions, keep asking them. But I had a question for you. So I have noticed among my Korean friends. So when I meet them the first time, you know how exuberant it can be. And as time goes on, it takes a while. I have noticed it takes a while to build a relationship with a Korean person long term, because you guys are not very trusting in the beginning. But this is one thing I always say: if you pursue that relationship with them, it is worth it, because when you guys are this close, they see you as family.
Yeah.
But it takes a while.
Yeah.
For you to do that. And my friend, if let's say for example another Korean comes into the house right now, I wouldn't expect you guys to just say hi or be very cordial immediately. And I have to introduce both of you first before you can form a relationship. And so let me be very clear. When I say Nigerian here, as long as they're Nigerian, I mean I might not take them home and make them coffee. I will still say hi. Oh, what are you doing here?
Yeah.
But Koreans,
very engaging easily.
You guys is just
there's a wall between us.
No.
Yeah.
So when I say another Korean, I'm like, come and meet my friend Sylvia. She's like, why is that? Why are you guys so?
So it's kind of can be based on competitive society. So in some way, in our childhood and our growing up period, there are so many moments that people hurting each other. That's why they try to protect themselves. That's why they're more careful to meet other people.
So it's still competition. But in the US right now, it's a big pond. You can all swim without colliding on one another. I do like this swimming instead of like that. So it's that. So for those that are visiting Korea, maybe next year, maybe in 2 years' time, number one, tell us what Korea means to you, and specifically what Busan is like. Give us, paint a picture for us.
So, you guys can think there's a sand and beautiful ocean, and not only one ocean, there's almost four oceans you can visit in like a Busan area. So, I born in Hwangari, is also one of the ocean area. So I born really close there. So when I was young, I just walked to the ocean and we swim and walk to home and could take a shower. Yeah.
Wow.
So yeah, it's very natural, rusty. By walking with 10 minutes at the time, I think. Yeah, really close. So yeah, in summertime, all my cousins get along with my parents' house, and we just go over there and swimming and playing and come back and take a shower.
So was that close?
Yeah.
What does Korea mean to you? When you, if you could say Korea, talk about Korea in words like she was here right now, what does it mean to you to be Korean?
As a country or as a language part?
The country
as a country itself, as many parts need to still develop and fixed. So truthfully, there's many hurts in people's heart because the history of South Korea was not consistent at all. It was like really up and really down.
The hand, right? The anger,
Yeah.
not just the anger, but just that spirit.
So those kind of situation in your life, when there's really top and really bottom, there's no middle. It can make you very victimized at.
Because you guys went from nothing to something overnight, and that something has been sustained for so long. And I think that could also explain the high suicide rates.
Yeah.
Because for an OECD country, you guys have the highest suicide rates in the world. And I think it's sometimes materialism and also lack of Jesus and that sense of purpose where it's me, get better, but there's no, God is missing.
Yeah, there's something missing. And kind of a culture value, one of the old one is kind of don't share your detailed story. They're kind of, really hesitate sharing detailed life story with other people
because they're scared.
So in South Korea, if I share my childhood that much detail, like some of the people gonna impress, but still some other people like, how could talk that much? Are you sure with that? Like, don't worry about other people gonna judge you. That's why people always concern other people's perspectives.
And I also think that with the Confucianism, which is very that's like the very woven in the very fabric of the society. You're not individualistic. What you do affects the herd. Like your actions is not just my actions. It's on behalf of the family, on behalf of the culture. And so when someone is not doing very well, they feel like they're the weakest, and that's why suicide might become like a viable option. Thank you for that. Now, in a very happy tone, like very, let's just call it in a very romantic hang the place. Talk about it. Like,
it's a really beautiful place. There's so many historical and cultural, those kind of palaces and old museums, those kind of stuff kept well. Korean people did their best. So to other Western people, it will be really fascinating things when people actually see that. And there's look at those beautiful rooftops. How they even thought about to put those kind of things. And we also use a lot of flower as a symbol drawing. Because a long time ago, 양반, noble people have a time to gardening. That's why it's a kind of symbol when there's a flower on their clothes, which means they're wealthy people.
Linda has another question, which I love. She said, you mentioned you don't like science. How have you dealt with the stereotypes, especially in this country? Because people just assume all Asians like science, all Asians like math. Is that good?
Yeah, it's chat.
That one again, it's okay. So, babe! We'll get it, don't worry. Okay.
So, when my mom good at math, my brother good at math, but I don't like math. So my mom has a childhood story. So she asked me to solve some kind of plus and minus with the numbering questions. And she asked me, and then I asked her, then when can I play? And she said, after you finish, you can play. It's kind of long, like 2 or 3 pages. So I thought about myself, okay, I'm gonna put 1 0 1 2 1 0 1 2 and ran away. My mom that realized that she's not, her brain is naturally not gonna working like that way.
I see.
So in South Korean environment, like a math and science issue is more like top and down. Not asking question, why do you think those kind of things happen? Why do you think this answer is correct? More than that is 1 + 1 is 2, 2 + is 2, 4. Those kind of like true, false, true, false. So in those kind of environment, to me, like I always ask questions like why, but nobody give me the answer.
I see.
So like kind of I've lost interest.
And I think your mom helped you develop your confidence because she's an educator too, which we talked about. And when she realized that, okay, my daughter doesn't like math, but she likes languages, I'm gonna have her, explore that passion. She didn't first you. And I think having that confidence at home, when you came out of the house and you're here, it doesn't matter to you what people think about you. Plus, you having your identity in Christ. It didn't matter to you that, okay, I don't like math. I love languages. I love education. And I'm very good at that. So I'm going to focus on that. So I think that, is the long answer to her question. But thank you for asking that. Off the top of my head, random question. What's your hope for South Korea and North Korea? Do you think there's going to be a reunification one day? We're not getting to the political scene.
Yeah, some people gonna really mad at me. Truthfully, I think it's not gonna happen. It's really hard. It's really hard.
Yeah.
Because it's been separated so long time, and now even linguistically, the language is slowly changed differently, and GDP is a huge gap. So if we get along together, it will be like kind of there's a chance because we have technology and North Korea have the source.
Yeah.
However, when we get together, because of the huge GDP gap, South Korean people need to pay more tax, and people not gonna happy about it. And besides that, North Korean people brainwashed so hard, so they believe that Kim Jong-un ride a car when he was 3 years old.
And then he can do like 3-in-1 hole golf, like he played golf, and there's a double-headed rainbow that came.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know what our hopes and our dreams is different from what God wishes for North Korea, but for people like in those countries and in countries that there's a lot of oppression, the best we can do is keep hoping for the best and keep praying, that the light of God will keep shining there. So, what does God mean to you now? Like, you're so strong. One thing I like about you, you're so spiritually sound and you're so wise. And I know it comes from you studying the Bible a lot and knowing God for yourself. And I can imagine that losing your dad at a young age and all the things you went through, and your mom being such a huge influence in your life has shaped, the very person that you are right now. So for those that are still, just here and there about their faith in God, in Christ, what's your faith like for you right now? What's your relationship with God like? And what kind of suggestions would you like to give to people that they want to just jump right in? They're tired of sitting on the pool and trying to decide.
To me, in my opinion, I think how you call him is really important. Like Heavenly Father, to me, is to feel too far away. So I just call him Dad or Papa. Or even Daddy. Daddy, like, what's going on in here? I don't like that.
That is deep.
You ask me actually do that? And he said, yes, okay, then I will shut up and do it. So more like open relationship, and also really open mind, share everything, even the darkness. So even in the class, like, I don't like those kind of certain projects, I really don't want it. And then I said, like, Dad, I don't want to do it. Why should I do it? Give me the reason. And really open-minded, even though when you get mad, I just be honestly share with God, like the King David in the Psalm, he said about kind of persecute those third generation or something.
Yeah.
I didn't do the same thing, but I really hate them.
I like that.
I just honestly, I don't like them. I want their tortured. But that I know that is not your heart. But how can I solve my anger towards other people? So very open mind. Yeah. So
it's calling God Father. Like even as simple as that sounds, there's a lot of weight to it because it signifies relationship. Like you've gone from seeing God as Lord, because Lord is is a starting point, but it denotes somebody that lords over you consistently. But then it also precludes a relationship, an enduring relationship. Of when you call God Father or Daddy, and I know that could also have another meaning for you because Daddy is someone that you really didn't get to see a lot, and I relate with that because my dad is very much alive. But if you know my story, you know that growing up, my dad, we didn't have a very close relationship. So God was Father for it. It wasn't Father for a while. He was just dear God. And so when we say prayers like Our Father who art in heaven.
Yeah,
I couldn't
get the feel.
I couldn't, get that. But as time went on, and my heart started healing, and I started realizing that God wants to hear everything.
Yeah, God knows everything.
He knows everything, but He wants to hear how you feel about things, because your opinions matter. Hashtag, your opinions matter still. Your opinions matter too, and He wants to know how you're hurting, how you feel about certain situations. And He wants to have a conversation, how your day goes. Not just the big things like God saved my friend from dying, even every little thing. You know?
So what I do usually at nighttime after I read a Bible, I share my story before I go to bed.
Like go on my day.
Yeah. Hey Dad, it's
like
too
a
hard.
diary.
Yeah. Hey Dad, it's too hard for me. Hey Dad, thanks for offering me those kind of things. I didn't expect that. Like I always know that you are taking care of me. So keep reminding it. Yeah.
Majima, final question. Mire kumi mohani.
What is my future dream?
Mm-hmm.
So, Chad and I, we want to.
And Chad will be the boyfriend, by the way. We're not gonna mention his name anymore.
We want to impact the world through the education and want to lead the children to find their purpose in their life, like what kind of things God put in their heart.
That's your dream.
Yeah.
How about your dream for Sylvia? Like just your own personal dream?
Whole personal dream, have a lot of kids.
Lots of kids?
Lots of kids.
Does
5.
it? Whoa! Well, all the best to you. Have as many as you want. Alright, so this has been the show, guys. I have had the utmost pleasure of having my friend here. She actually spent the night here. If you see my face glowing, because we had like a Korean skin, something last night, and we did some mud treatment and just wrapped my face, and I just had the grace and just the privilege of being friends with this person, and I'd like to thank Donna and Charlie for making that introduction. They're like, "No, we have a friend for you." I'm like, and I like when people do that, when they tell me they found somebody that, like, because usually they're always right. I have friends that really know me. I mean, for you to be my friend, you gotta know me. And you're really right. And the moment I saw her, I mean, it was just like I'd known her for a while. So I call her like my sister as well. And, she's full of life. She's full of happiness. She's very caring, and she's like a mom. Oh, I know, those glasses though. Thanks for noticing. I just got new glasses. Thank you, Linda, for noticing. You remember you remember I picked these glasses. Thanks for helping me pick these glasses because I asked my friends. Anyway, so this has been Sylvia's story. Despite the loss of her father and her mom stepping up, she's here today, and I know she has a lot, in her future, and her security in God, her faith in God, her identity grounded in Christ as well. Those are things that, and her personal, like just how persuaded she is, how persistent she is. Those are qualities that I know will make for a great future. And so I really thank you, and I'm happy for your life. And indeed, chincha chincha, hembok junsananoda. You are someone who brings happiness. Yeah. Alright. 여러분, 오늘 우리 함께 같이 있어서 감사합니다. Thank you for being with us today, and podcast 같이 와주셔서 너무너무 감사합니다. Thank you for coming on the podcast today, and peace be with you. 안녕히 계세요, 여러분. 다음에 봬요. See you guys next time. Bye. And thank you all for your questions. And watch out for sorry, I forgot that. Watch out for my episode on the podcast. Another episode, like recorded episode. We talk a little bit more with Sylvia. It's gonna come out sometime soon. Just watch out for that. Alright guys, bye. This is the end of the show. Bye. Oh.